Hey guys, this is Ron Douglas on behalf of my partner Alice Seba. Welcome to the presentation tonight. You can see we have a packed house tonight. This is going to be a good one. Our guests have mastered something. They've really cracked the code on Facebook ad automation. But before I continue, can you guys hear me? Let's make sure you guys can hear me. Any echoes? It's all good? All right. If you guys can answer one question, I'm just curious the type of crowd we have on tonight. If you are already making money online, let me know if you're already making money, and then what's your main thing? Are you a information product creator? Are you an e-com person? Are you a blogger? Are you an author? I'm just curious what type of Leo says he just drinks a lot of beer. Okay, we got affiliate info products. We have a newbie blogger, information products coach. Let's see, e-com. So we have a very diverse audience. A musician, nice. I always wanted to be a musician. I can't play anything. Personal development training, direct sales, a wannabe. You're here with us, so you're in the right place. Blogger. Okay. If you're a noob, that's fine too. Just don't call yourself a newbie. Everybody has some type of experience, life experience. Everybody knows something more than the next person. It's just a matter of figuring out this internet technology, right? So nobody's really a newbie unless you've never done anything in life, right? So don't call yourself a newbie. Author of fiction, affiliate info products, Davina, affiliate, business consulting, direct sales, networker, coach. Wow, a little bit of everything. That's Tina. Hey, Tina, how are you? I recognize the name. Davina, I used to have online courses. Now I build houses and flip real estate. Nice. I just buy and hold real estate long term. All right, so we're going to jump into the presentation. We have a pretty good audience tonight. So our guests tonight, they have some amazing results, and we handpicked this presentation because it's just so outstanding what they're doing, and it's something I believe that any of you can do as well using the tools that they use, which they're going to demo for you tonight. And even if you don't know anything about Facebook ads or getting traffic or anything like that, this is something so simple that I believe that anybody can do it. Even if you're an author just trying to get your book out there, you know, you can use Facebook ads to promote that. Even if you're an info product creator, you can use this system to promote that. If you're an e-com or consultant or anything, you need to learn how to build an audience, build leads, get people interested in your business, and then interested in buying your product. So that's what this is about. So if you're into that, you're in the right place. So these guys, one of the things they've done is they have one business. They have many different businesses and many different niches, but they were telling me in the survival business, they have one site where they're getting 91,000 emails a month from Facebook. Yeah, you heard that right. 91,000 emails a month from Facebook in the survival market. And they have some other sites as well. One of their businesses went from $6,000 in revenue, $6,000 a month in revenue, which most people would say was good. They scaled that thing up to $400,000 a month in revenue. So they're going to show you these type of results and how they did it tonight. So with that being said, I will turn it over to Brian Cos and Shawn Casey, two good friends of mine, two people that I follow closely in business. And I'll be in the background answering questions in chat. And if you guys need me, just let me know. So I'll turn it over to you guys, Brian and Shawn.
All right. Thanks, Ron, and have fun helping your daughter out with the Pythagorean theorem stuff there.
Yeah, for sure.
So he was helping his daughter with some homework. That's always good fun. Anyway, guys, thanks for being on this call. My name's Brian Cos, and I'm joined by my friend and business partner, Shawn Casey, as well. You'll probably hear a little bit from him towards the end of this call later on, but he'll also be answering like questions and stuff in the chat and such if you have any as they pop up. But we have a really exciting call for you right here, and this will be on basically the top ways of making Facebook advertising work for you to sell basically anything that you want. And you know, it doesn't matter what you do or what you have. I don't care if you're just basically doing it to build an email list. I don't care if you sell e-commerce products. I don't care if you sell stuff on webinars like high price point stuff. I don't care if you sell info products like ebooks or actual books. I don't care if you're a local business. I don't care if you sell software, or even if you just basically do this to help others. Like even if you're like a local marketer and you sell a service to help other people, I'll show you how you can basically use all the info here to sell or promote basically anything that you want. And that's the really awesome part when it comes to Facebook ads, or basically paid traffic as a whole, is, once you know how it basically works, it's one of the easiest and quickest ways to get a lot of traffic anywhere that you want. And even better than just showing you how to do that, I'll show you how to do it while spending a fraction of what everyone else is and getting better results than them at the same time too. So first, I want to just give a little bit about me. I really hate basically talking about me. It's like one of my least favorite parts of any talks, because I feel like really most of you probably don't care a ton. You probably care more so about how I can help you. So, but I feel like I'm almost obligated to at least give you a little bit of background about me, so I'll do that very quick. Then I'll move on to some tips and stuff to help you. Well, about me, I actually went straight from college to working for myself online. So while I was in college, I was playing around online, and by the time I was just about done with college, I realized that I was on the path to basically being able to make a lot more than any job that I could think of where basically college would help. So instead of going on to get like a PhD or anything like that, I just basically got my bachelor's and then went on to work for myself. And a lot of it has, basically essentially taught me all the processes that I learned, whether I was being an affiliate marketer, whether I was selling an info product or software. I learned that the more you can basically automate through software, the better you can typically do. And that's one of the things I specialize in is taking the processes that have worked for me as well as others and trying to automate that as much as possible. I'll be talking a bit more about that a little bit later. And I've actually gone on to create several 6- and 7-figure businesses over the years, ranging in a variety of niches like traffic and SEO, to the wedding niche, to survival, and a whole bunch of others. So it's not like I'm just in one niche. I'm in a variety of them, and I've done a lot of them, and I can pretty much tell you what works and what does not work across the board there. Here's just one business that I started from scratch that did over $2.9 million processed in just 8 months' time. Now, oftentimes when people talk about launches or stuff like that, they're showing off numbers that are projected numbers, which basically means like, hey, if they sell something that's like $100 a month, they'll basically act like, hey, well, if everyone stays for a year or 2 years or 3 years, this is how much the launch is. And that's basically kind of made up numbers in a lot of cases, whereas this is actually physically processed. It's not projected, that's physically processed in the first 8 months' time. It's 2.9 million right there. That's just one. Between my partners and I, and again you'll hear from Shawn in just a bit, we've sold over $60 million, and we've also bought and sold some businesses as well. In fact, one of our newer businesses is less than 2 years old, but already valued at about $10 million. And through our knowledge of paid ad advertising, we also took one business that we partnered with from starting at about $6,000 a month to over $400,000 a month. Okay, and that was through paid ads, which again, we'll talk about how to do that in just a bit here. Now here's we have a handful of Facebook accounts. Here's just one where we have a pixel that you can see in the last 28 days has fired over 1 million times. So that's obviously a lot of traffic, a lot of views right there. Here's another shot where you see about 680,000 views, 258,000 leads off of that, and over 6,000 buyers off of that right there. So we're generating a lot of leads. I think I think in a month we usually get I think around like 90,000 or so leads or so. But anyway, a lot of leads. give or take a bit right there. And again, all through paid ads right there. And of course, we can use those leads to mail more and more and more stuff and make more as well. And in any given month, we're typically spending about $150,000 or more in paid ads. So you know, we know what we're doing when it comes to this, and we kind of put our money where our mouth is here, because we're not just basically teaching you theory, we're actually telling you what's actually working, because we actually do it ourselves. Which actually brings us to today and what's most important to you, as I'm going to be sharing with you what we've learned over the years when it comes to advertising on Facebook. So let me ask you a question. Who here has tried to advertise on Facebook before and not had awesome results? If you could type in a 1 in the chat box. So if you've tried to advertise on Facebook before but have not had awesome results, just type in a 1. Or who here has tried it and gotten at least good results with it? Type in a 2 if that's you. All right, I'm seeing a good good mix here. Looks like some have done well, and there's you know, quite a few that have not, and that's actually okay, because we'll talk about that in a bit, about how a lot of you that haven't gotten the results that you wanted might just be sitting on top of a hidden gem that you didn't even know that you had. Or let me ask a third question. Type in a 3 if you've never even tried Facebook ads. Okay, so if you've never tried it, so you don't know what the results were. Okay, all right, looks like a good handful right there, a good mix, and that's great. I'll talk about what you can do regardless, if you've never tried it, if you've tried it with bad results, or you've tried it and gotten great results. I'll actually give you tips on how to help you in each of those cases. But first, why is Facebook an easy place to find people? Well, Facebook has 2 billion active users. That's a lot of people. More importantly, Facebook knows its users inside and out, what they like, what they respond to, and what they buy, and a whole lot more. That means that you can laser target prospects, and once you have a list of them, Facebook can find you millions more just like them. Because you can basically, once you have your list of buyers or your list of leads, they can actually go out and find similar prospects that fit just like that. Now, the easiest way to find the people you want is through Facebook ads, just because there's so many of them out there. They're spending a lot of time on Facebook. You know, that's where their eyes are right now, and you can basically pinpoint down as precise as you want there. Now, using Facebook ads, you can target the people you want by their interests, gender, age, location, as narrow as a city, devices used, and a whole lot more. These ads are not expensive. You can start for about $1, but I suggest you invest at least $5 a day to get faster results, because the more data you get, the faster the results you can get as well right there. But if Facebook is such a great place to advertise on, why do most people fail at it? It's because they don't advertise well and don't know their data. That's a key point that we'll actually revisit a little bit later as well here. Which is why I'm going to be revealing a few methods we learned that can get you great results. Here are 3 methods that we use on ads to generate cheaper leads and more sales, so a win-win. So you get 3 methods right here. Method number 1 is giveaways. Instead of advertising a product directly, we often use giveaways as a way to generate a lot of cheap leads. We simply have an ad that advertises our free giveaway that leads to an opt-in page that grabs their email. People love these, so we often get super high conversion rates and very cheap clicks. Oftentimes, 90% cheaper than standard ads. You heard that right. 90% cheaper than standard ads, which means if you are paying, let's say, let's say you're paying $10 per lead, that means that the leads might drop down to $1. Or if you're paying $1, that means that it would drop down to 10 cents right there. So again, huge savings right there. Now, what does a giveaway funnel look like? Basically, it will be an ad you have on Facebook that advertises something that you're giving away for free. They just have to opt in to get an entry. And then when they click that, they go to your opt-in page, and usually the simpler, the better. This is actually, it's kind of funny. The more elaborate things tend not to convert nearly as well. So it can just be a simple opt-in page that advertises whatever you're trying to give away for free. It could be something related to what you're selling. It could be the product itself. So like if you're selling a certain product, you could give that away as a way to get a lot of leads that might be interested in that. And then after that, after they opt in to partake in the giveaway, you want to show them some kind of an offer. So you might have like an upsell or two right there. And even after that, on basically the thank you page, you might have some kind of a back-end offer. And also, because you have that lead now, you can mail them additional offers as much as you want. And the more you mail, the more chances you have of making money off that. So, you know, that lead, even though you can certainly make money on day one, the value of it is worth a lot more when you consider the fact that you can mail them a lot more stuff and show them additional offers for days, weeks, months, even years to come. That's where the real money's at. So any back-end offer you can mail later on and make a lot more. And to give you an idea of that, in our survival business, we invest about 51 cents to get an email lead that we estimate to be worth around $6. So let me ask you guys this. If you could turn 51 cents into $6, even if it's not on day one, would you do that? Yes or no? Say in the chat box. All right, I'm seeing a lot of yeses. All right, even if you were, let's say, to break even on day one, would you invest that and knowing that those leads are worth a lot more down the line? All right, seeing a lot of yeses right there. So that gives you an idea of what the value of these leads can be. And the cool part is these leads allow us to sell more of our own offers, affiliate offers, and CPA offers for a long time to come. And here's just an example of what a giveaway page can look like right here. So as I said, I know what a lot of you are thinking. You're probably thinking, yeah, that looks kind of like an ugly page. Now, this was basically, you know, in truthfulness, this was like one of the first versions of one done. So I was like, hey, this would be kind of a cool idea right here. We asked a graphics guy to whip this together. And you might think, hey, it looks kind of ugly to start with. Well, what we found is oftentimes the really ugly, kind of plain-looking opt-in pages will actually convert way more than the fancy, elaborate ones with like really fancy-looking graphics and all that. So that's kind of an added value right there. And as you see, it's a simple opt-in page. It just says, hey, enter to win 2 bumper balls, which are those things that you basically get inside and you ram each other as fast as you can, and you fly all over the place right there. So if people are interested in that or interested in winning that, they would enter their email and we'd build a list off that. Now, obviously, if they sign up there, what are they interested in? Bumper balls, right? So might they be maybe interested in buying those balls instead of just waiting to see if they won? Or we know that if they're interested in that, they might be interested in other things as well right there. In fact, here's just sales in one day of selling bumper balls right here, where we did over $2,700 right there made in sales. And the cool part is even though the value of those are really high, like, you know, you can sell those oftentimes for about $400. You can actually buy them for about $130 or $140 online, including the shipping. So that includes the shipping for free, basically almost anywhere in the world. And that's, again, a super great way to make some extra sales. And oftentimes what's really neat with that is that people wouldn't just buy one, they'd buy 2 or more at the same time. So, and again, it doesn't have to be bumper balls or a physical product. It can be anything that you think has value that would get people excited to sign up for, especially if it's related to what you're either trying to sell or related to the product or service that you want to get guys in. So the good part with that is you can get you know, some super cheap leads and build a list at the same time and make some sales too. Now, method 2 is surveys. Now, I'll get this out of the way right here. Giveaways are a great way to get super cheap leads in a lot of different markets, but it really gives us limited opportunities to really get to know our prospects. So the prior method with basically giveaways, it gets cheap leads, but you don't really know a ton about them, other than, you know, if they signed up for basically giveaway on bumper balls, you know they're probably interested in bumper balls. If they signed up for a giveaway for, let's say, you know, a 6 months supply of like a weight loss supplement, you know that they're interested in probably weight loss, right? So you know that, but not a ton more. But what surveys do, especially catchy and interesting ones, can be a great way to secretly sell to prospects, get them to give you very detailed information and really pinpoint offers to give them. So you can actually survey them and actually, you know, ask them basically, hey, you know, find out what their needs are, what exactly they're looking for. And you can get a lot more info and then pinpoint exactly what it is that you could offer them. And you know, there's several examples of surveys and tips and stuff that you can do and why they work. For instance, let's say you had, okay, let's say that you were selling, I don't know, a weight loss product, okay, and you specialized, you know, in selling all sorts of like weight loss equipment and products and stuff, and you know, with the problem with that is that, you know, not everyone needs the exact same course or the exact same equipment based upon their needs. Maybe you know, younger people might basically benefit more from a different product. Older people might benefit more from like another. Or if one's trying to lose, like, let's say belly fat, another one might be trying to gain more muscle. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you might not know. And if you survey them, basically asking stuff like, hey, you know, how much are you looking to lose? You know, what kind of time span, you know, are you working with? You know, a whole bunch of questions like that. You can really pinpoint what it is that they're looking for and make an offer based upon that. Especially if you know, like, what their age is, if you know what what their gender is. Another example is, you know, let's say that you're in the survival niche and you sell survival equipment, like you know, knives and, you know, underwater matches and all sorts of stuff like that. You could have a survey that says like, hey, how long would you survive in a disaster or something like that. People would take the survey, and based upon their answers, you would know a lot about them. Like you could ask them like what kind of equipment that they have, how much food they have on stock, how much water they have, and like a whole bunch of questions like that. And at the end, you might find, hey, they're really lacking on water, so let's make an offer for water containers. Or hey, they're really lacking on food, so let's make an offer on you know, on like pre-canned food that can last a long time. Or they're really lacking on like some other basic necessities that you can sell them at that point. Or another example on the internet marketing side, let's say you're trying to target business owners. You can ask them questions about their business and ask them like what their needs are and stuff, and see like you know, hey, what's the size of your business? You know, what's your advertising budget? What are your sales? What's your biggest problem that you think? Is it a lack of traffic, a lack of conversions? You know, are you ranked well on Google? Like a whole bunch of questions like that. And based upon the answers that they give, you can give them you know, a custom response and make an offer exactly for what they're looking for. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, well, what if we don't have a lot of offers? Well, that's okay, because this can even work if you're just an affiliate. And let me show you an example right here. So here's a survey that we have for businesses. So we ask them, I don't know, it varies depending upon what they answer. So it can range from like, you know, 6 or 7 questions up to like 15 questions, depending upon what they say yes and no to and stuff. But it'll ask them like if they have a business, if not. It'll ask them like what the size of it is. It'll ask them if they have upsells. It asks them if they have a mailing list. And then based upon that, it gives a custom response at the very end. Like it says, hey, we see that you're making around $10,000 a month. You know, if you increase your upsells, we estimate you can make an additional over 17,000 per month. If you get an extra 1,000 hits to your site, we estimate you'd get over 12 grand a month. If you target your high-end prospects more, you're leaving 5 grand on the table, and a whole bunch of other info. Like, at some point, we ask them if they think that they're ranked well, and if they say no, we give them some tips on how they could rank well and what stuff they should do. But guess what? If we give them a tip, like in this case, we basically talk about how they can use what's called a schema to help a site rank, especially like local sites and stuff, even more so. We explain that, we say how it can help, we show off, and if they don't know what to do and need help, they can click the click here, and it will go to a tool that they can buy to help them with that. Now, even if it wasn't your own tool, you could just be an affiliate. Another example is, one of the questions we say is, we ask them if they sell to consumers or businesses. So let's say a person says that their primary clients are other businesses. If they then later asked, or if they then later answered in the survey that one of their biggest issues is a lack of leads, we know that they suffer from a lack of business leads, right? So if we made them an offer to buy maybe a software tool of ours, or one that we were just an affiliate for, that would help them get free business leads, do you think they'd be interested in that? Type in a 1 if so. If they told you that they have a lack of business leads, and that's one of their #1 issues, if you show them an offer to help them get more business leads for free, a tool to help them do that, do you think they'd at least check that out and possibly buy it? Absolutely. Whereas if you showed that offer to a guy that didn't sell to other businesses, if he just sold to consumers, he would say, why are you showing me a tool to help me find business leads when I don't even sell anything to these guys? And they tend to blow off basically the rest of your offers because it's not targeted to them. Where if you can give a target response like this, it can work really well. And again, this works for absolutely anything. Like even if let's say you sold I swear on like every call I do or anytime you speak, there's always like a few people into like alternative medicine or holistic stuff and whatnot. So I'll give an example on that. So let's say you have a store and you sell all sorts of different alternative medicine or therapies and stuff like that. You can have in a survey, you can ask them what specific ailments they have, what their issues are, and then you can recommend specific products to them to help with their specific issues. I've also seen it done. A great affiliate example, which I actually saw last year, was if you were looking to buy like those robot vacuums, there was an affiliate that basically advertised to people looking for those. You take a survey and you'd answer a handful of questions about your house, like if you're mostly carpet or wood or vinyl or linoleum or whatever it is. You answer a handful of questions like that, and based upon the answers that you give, it recommends specific robot vacuums that would be best suited for you. And when you fill that out, you really think, wow, this is a personalized suggestion. It's not just a random review, it's a personalized answer for me, so you're far more likely to click that and check that out and buy based upon the recommendation right there. And in that case, they're just an affiliate, so you can do this with basically almost anything that you want right there. So really awesome method. Now the downside is obviously it does cost a bit more per lead compared to like a giveaway, but you get a lot more specific info on them, and that lead can be worth more at the same time. So very good thing if you can ever basically incorporate surveys into your marketing or into your ads themselves. The third way is, or the third method is ads that you can have to trendy blog posts with pop-in ads and links throughout. So advertising like news pieces or stories or blog posts can often get cheap clicks as well, especially if you can spot the latest trends and tie it into your offers. So here's an example right here. Let's say you were selling, like I've seen, there's people that sell, I think like iodine pills or stuff like that, which is meant to help with like radiation and whatnot. There's people that could have a news piece about how North Korea is on the brink of like a nuclear war and yada yada, and could have all, like, they could find like a news piece on this and just have a blog post on it. And then throughout the blog post, they could not only recommend this like pill to possibly help if there ever was one, they could have like a pop-in ad where people could get some free pills or some cheap ones, or like a special deal on them. Another example is, let's say you had a blog post on the best way to lose weight. Okay, if it talked about specific supplements or anything like that, you could have basically pop-in ads or links throughout the blog post and stuff that talked about that. We can basically drive the traffic from the ad to the blog post, and then from there to the actual link or the affiliate link or your product, or a pop-in opt-in form or anything that you want right there. Now, the reason why that can work well is because when you tend to send clicks to a blog post or a news piece or basically a content site, you tend to get cheaper clicks. And the cheaper clicks oftentimes can mean you get cheaper leads as well at the same time there. Now, you want to note that the cost per lead oftentimes isn't nearly as cheap as like a giveaway, but you get more visitors, more people to retarget, and usually more of an opportunity to really qualify the leads as well, because you can basically talk about anything you want on that blog post there. And there's kind of a unique twist on another method similar to this right here that can work really well if you're selling like a service or a course or software or anything like that. And that is, you can have basically an ad that advertises a case study. And that can go to like a blog post or like an article that talks about a case study. Now, ideally, it'd want to be one that is of like a service you have, or a course that you sell, or software you have, or just one that you're an affiliate for. For instance, let's say that you have a service and you help people become best-selling authors. Okay, you could have a case study about how so-and-so went from being like a no name to best-selling author in under a month, and you could basically talk about the steps that were done to help achieve that. So everyone that would be interested in that would be like, hey, I want to find out how so-and-so became a best seller. Sure, I'll check that out right there. And then at the end, you can basically mention the service you have, and the entire time you're basically mentioning this is how you helped them. So you're establishing the authority and the credibility that entire time right there, and really pinpointing your target market really well. Or let's say, another example is, let's say that you had either software or service or course that helped with SEO or helped with ranking. You could have a blog post or a case study where you basically say something along the lines of, hey, this is how we got this store or this site ranked from nowhere to #1 on Google in 7 days time. And you could basically talk about the steps that were done there to achieve that, and then talk about how this is what your service did, these are steps that they took, so on and so forth. And again, that establishes a lot of credibility, and oftentimes it's a lot cheaper to get clicks there, and like people tend to respond a lot better to that versus like an ad to your SEO service where you just sell an SEO service, because you don't really have the credibility then. They think it's just an ad, or if they read a case study, they're excited by that. They're like, hey, I want that too, and hey, look, this is the guy that helped here. I'm going to reach out and contact them here. So little slight spin that can work really well there. Here's one example of like a random blog post that was an example of a ad from Forbes that was on Facebook, and it's just one, hey, the 10 most expensive cars for 2017. So clearly they're not like, they're not sending you straight to like a sales page to buy a car, or straight to like a landing page to opt in to see a car or anything like that, but they're sending you to a blog post knowing that they can get super cheap clicks, especially if they're maybe trying to target car enthusiasts or people that are likely to like cars. And they can get them on their site where they can have ads, they can have the pop-ins, they can have all that stuff right there where they can make money off of that. And again, you can do this in almost anything that you could possibly think of. Just try to think, and the more kind of viral or the more like kind of cool or viral the news piece can be, the more likely you are to get basically cheaper clicks and a lot more traffic off of that right there. Especially if it's stuff that people would like to share, you can get more likely to get a lot of traffic off that. So those are the three methods right there. But regardless of which method you use, even ones outside of these, so there's other methods outside of these which are perfectly fine, but you'll still want to know your data. This is perhaps the biggest trick or method that we've learned, and it's that Facebook gives you a ton of data on who your prospects are, who signs up, who buys, and so forth, but it's not really easy to really dig deep into it. And even then, you'll want to create lots of ads targeting all sorts of interests, and even clone those too. And here's why. Here's a quick little trick that we've learned as well. So if you have, let's say, some really good ads, you'll want to oftentimes make several clones of a lot of those, because what we've seen, and it's been theorized, I mean, no one knows the exact thing except for Facebook itself, but it's been theorized that, yeah, because this is how a lot of ad networks work, especially large ones, that anytime you make a new ad set, in fact, let me ask a question. Who here has had an ad set on Facebook that's worked really well, and then they've gone to clone it, and the clone doesn't work all that well at all? All right, I'm seeing a handful of me's. All right, here's why. So anytime you create a new ad set, or anytime that you even modify an existing ad set of yours, you're thrown oftentimes into a random new group of advertisers. So by random chance, you might be competing against Coca-Cola, or you might be competing against a politician. And if that's the case, oftentimes, the bids that they have will cost a lot more because they don't care as much. So that forces up the price of your bids for the same amount of exposure. So you're paying a ton more than you probably should be, and it can turn a bad ad set into a really good one. So instead of getting leads for maybe 50 cents, you might be getting leads for $3. And you might think, well, that makes no sense because that same ad set, the same exact thing, was working so well, and now it's not. And it's because every time you make a new ad set or make a change to one, you can be thrown in a new group. Likewise, you might be put in a group of people that have extremely low bids, and by random chance, you might have a lot of luck off of that right there. So, even if you have just a single good ad set to start with, you'll want to clone that and make several clones of those, and basically test those over time, because that's one of the unfortunate things with Facebook, is that they don't make that all intuitively easy. So oftentimes a lot of you might think that you have a bad ad when really you might have a good ad, you just never actually gave it a chance to actually see, and we'll talk more about that in just a bit too. Now, to do all of this usually requires a ton of time or a ton of money to hire an expert, and let me tell you, we have a lot of horror stories on experts when it comes to Facebook ads. In fact, a ways back, I want to say, I don't know, maybe like a year or like a year and a half, probably like a year and a half ago or so, we spent a lot of money on Facebook ads, and initially we're basically doing a lot of this stuff by hand, and we're like, wow, this takes a lot of time. We've learned a lot of stuff. We kind of know what we're doing, but we don't necessarily want to spend a ton of time on this. So we thought, hey, if we can hire a Facebook ad expert and they can get basically results even close to ours, that'd be a win-win, because it'd free us up of time and be one less thing that we'd have to worry about, and maybe they could scale it up even more. Well, every guy that we've hired, we've had horrible results with. In fact, probably the worst one was, we had a guy who I think it was like $7,000 a month, and he was claiming to be like the #1 Facebook expert, in the world. And we gave him the stats on what we knew our target prospect was, and turned out after that first month or two, his per lead cost was a lot more than what ours was. So it wasn't even close to being about the same. It was a lot more. And we found out that, like, not only that, the targets that we gave him to basically go for, like, we gave him certain age ranges that we knew tended to be more you know, of our clients. He basically would target the exact opposite. So if we said, hey, target people over this age, he would have a ton of ads that would go after people that were like super young, or vice versa. And it was just like, it was just horrible results off, you know, off of that. Then at the very end, he's like, well, would you like to scale it up now? And it's like, well, no, because the results that you're getting are way worse than ours. You know, we'd be losing money if we scaled that up. And on top of that, we're paying him $7,000, and it looked like he wasn't even paying any attention. And oftentimes, a lot of the ads that were run, you know, even his ones that were like being like somewhat okay, were basically almost kind of clones of ones that we had, but he was doing a bad job on the targeting, wasn't really paying any attention to anything, and we thought completely used. And when we talked to him, we were like, well, you know, you gave all these examples online about how you're basically getting like very cheap leads and all this other stuff. How come, you know, you can't even get close to what we got, but you're giving these like examples online where they're like a fraction of the price? And he's like, oh, well, those are all ones where, you know, I'm basically retargeting those guys, and you know, we pay like $5 to $8 to get that lead initially, and then, you know, the cost that you saw that was only a quarter lead, that's when we retarget those guys and get those guys again at a quarter. So it's like, okay, so you're not really getting those leads for a quarter, you're getting those leads for like $5 to $8, and then you're retargeting them again to get the get the lead a second time, which makes no sense, for a quarter, and showing off that and acting like, you know, you can get normal leads for a quarter. Now, we thought that's almost like borderline fraud. Like, it was basically a lie, and you know, basically deceitful at best. And you know, it turned out, I thought, okay, maybe we just had really bad luck. Maybe he just like outsourced all this and didn't really care. But it turns out, when we talked to like a lot of other guys that were spending a lot of money on Facebook and such, they all had the exact same stories. They're like, man, we've hired this guy for $5K or $6K or $7K or $10K, and almost all of them said that the results that they've gotten haven't been all that great, and that the managers haven't really done all that great of a job, and that even the guys that didn't know all that much themselves were getting better results than a lot of these experts were. And that's why it occurred to me that something needs to be done about that, because, you know, we didn't want to waste a ton of time managing this. And I knew that, hey, if myself and my partner Shawn and all these other guys that we do business with, if they all were kind of having the exact same issues, but they all, you know, if they managed it themselves, could do like an okay job, there had to be a way where we could, you know, help this. So that's why I eventually create a way to basically automate this for us, and I'll give you a chance to check out how we basically automate all that after I explain a handful of the manual ways and basically steps and stuff that we do here. But even then, you might say, okay, well, what if you're a very good marketer and you have, you know, really good luck with Facebook ads? Well, even if you're in that boat, so even if you don't have bad ads to start with, you know, even if you're, you know, great at this, you're still leaving tons of dough on the table and wasting more. And you know, that's because whether you have an ad set that isn't doing too hot or you have an ad set that's doing great, you'll run into issues unless you know not only how to analyze your data, but how to properly do so while growing winners too. Because like, if you turn, you know, a $5 ad around and make $10 off that, naturally you'd want to grow that, right? But there's issues that you can run into with doing that, which we'll basically talk about. So with the first example, so let's say you have what a lot of you might call a loser. So let's say you have a bad ad that's costing you $50 to get a $30 buyer. Okay, so you're spending $50 to make $30. A lot of people would ditch that ad in a heartbeat because they think it's just a loser, right? So let me ask you guys a question. So if you were spending $50 to make a $30 buyer, how many of you would keep running ads to that ad? All right, looks like most of you are saying not me or no. And yeah, that's how most people are. But that's not always the case. Not all ad sets that cost 50 to get a $30 buyer are necessarily bad and need to be shut off. It could just be that you're missing the winners within the bad ad set. So you might be sitting on a hidden gem that you just don't know about. So here's a real life example. There was a big Facebook ad spender that was spending over $100,000 a month on ads. But most of them were break even at best. So they were lucky to break even over time at best. And in a lot of cases, they actually were losing money. They asked me to analyze their ads. Upon further inspection, over 2/3 of their ad spend was targeting an age group that simply wasn't buying. So right there alone, of the $50 spent per buyer, 33 of it was being wasted with just that, with being basically wasted on ads that were targeting the wrong age group. And they didn't even know that. And upon even further inspection, only about 15% of their ad spend was going towards an ad placement. That's like what kind of ad you have, like if it's an ad on the desktop right side, or if it's an ad on a news feed or mobile. Only 15% of their ad spend was going towards a specific ad placement that actually was making most of the sales. So the majority of their ad spend was going towards basically ad placements which weren't making most of those sales. So that means if only 15% of the ad spend was going towards an ad placement making most of the sales, that means that $42.50 of the $50 was wasted on just that. And 66% of that was also wasted on the wrong age group. So that means that only about $2.50 of the $50 per sale spent was being spent wisely. So that $50 cost per $30 buyer loser ad set that you're about to shut off might be a true winner if you eliminate most of that wasteful spending. Because again, in this case, only about $2.50 was being wisely spent. Now, even if you got that down to, let's say, it's not like you can eliminate all the wasteful spending, but even if you eliminate, let's say 2/3 of that, you turn a bad ad set into a really, really, really good one just by knowing your data. Unfortunately, most guys don't pay attention to that or don't know how. But let's now take the opposite case. So let's say that you're one of the handful that said that you've had really good luck with Facebook ads. I know there actually were a handful of you on this call. So let's say that you have a winning ad set where you're spending $5 to make $10. If you're doing that, what would you guys do? Okay, let me ask you, if you were spending $5 to make 10, what would you do? It's kind of a no-brainer question, right? All right, you're all saying spend more. And, naturally, you're right, you'd want to increase the budget. You might want to double, triple, quadruple, or even more your ad spend in hopes of making that much more, right? Because if you can turn $5 into 10, you might think, hey, gee, if I can double my money, maybe I can turn 100 into 200 or 1,000 into 2,000. And you might think, hey, super easy, right? Well, you'd be wrong. It's not that easy. Doesn't quite work that way, and you could be setting yourself up to fail big time. And here's why. Facebook tends to optimize your ad sets based on the budgets that you assigned, so changing it up drastically can throw things off. That means that if you have a $5 per day ad spend that's making you $10 a day profit, if you were to go to $100 per day right off the bat, a normal person might expect to make $200 back, but really you might only make maybe $10 or $20 off your $100 spend, even though your prior ad set was doing phenomenally well. It's because Facebook, again, will optimize based upon the ad spend and stuff that you have right there. So they tend not to scale or really target that well past that unless you know what you're doing. So here's the important part. Here's how you scale. And this is super important. I'm sure a lot of you that have tried to scale up and have failed at it will be like, oh my gosh, this would have helped so much. Or if you haven't done Facebook yet, or you basically try and turn a bad ad set into a good ad set, you'll want to pay attention here because this is how you grow and can really scale, like what Shawn and I have done, where again, we took a business from about $6,000 a month to over $400,000 a month by scaling it through paid ads, with a good chunk of that off of Facebook ads. So first, if your ad set budget is under $50 per day, okay, you can double it and test it for a few days. For instance, you can double $5 to $10 a day, or you can double basically $25 to $50 a day. If it performs reasonably well after a few days, keep it. If not, reduce it back and see how that does. Now, here's a pro tip. If you have a really awesome ad set, don't change it, okay? So if you have a $5 ad set that's making you $100, let's say it's really awesome, don't mess with it, okay? If it's you know, an incredibly good ad set, leave it be. Instead, try this test with a clone ad set. So clone it at least, usually I'd say like 2 or 3 times, because again, as we talked about earlier, you might have a clone that's by random chance gets put in a really bad group, where by random chance you just won't win, and you might be put in an okay group or a great group. So I usually recommend, you know, 2 or 3 clones for any really great ad set that you have. And then you pick basically the winner of that after a couple days, and you try to scale that clone right there. So second, you can continue doubling your ad spend every few days until it reaches about $100 a day. At that point, you want to raise it by a maximum of 20% every few days and rinse and repeat. So again, if you start at $5 after a few days, you can double that to 10. Then after a few days more, you can double that to 20. After a few days more, you can double it to 40, up to about 100. Then after that, again, only raise it by about 20% max every few days and rinse and repeat only if it continues to do well. Now, here's another pro tip with that. You'll often find that your cost per lead or sale will go up at least some the more you grow. So don't base whether you keep the ad or not on your original ad. Base it on the value of the lead or sale to you. Because what you'll find is if you're getting leads at, like, let's say, like leads are buyers. So let's say you're getting buyers, like you're getting a $10 buyer for $5, okay? But if you get a buyer for anywhere less than $7, you're doing good, okay? I mean, this is just a hypothetical example here. In that case, you know, if you have another ad set that's getting buyers for $6, you don't want to say, well, gee, my last ad set was better, so I'm going to stop this. No, you say, hey, it's under my target of $7 or less, so I'm going to keep that. Reason why, the larger you scale, the more Facebook will kind of reach out to basically target additional people, and sometimes it won't be as specific or as targeted as if you just had a really small ad spend. So it's easier to grow if you can be kind of little flexible, you know, on your target. Don't expect everything to be as good as your best one. So a little pro tip right there. So with our example, what I said prior, where, you know, we could get leads for like approximately 51 cents or so per lead in one niche. You know, we could really get that down to like a quarter if we really only wanted like a smaller amount of leads. If we want to grow to like, you know, like 90,000 leads plus a month, like we have, that's why it kind of expands up to 50 cents. But if we had a smaller budget, we could pinpoint that down even less. So again, keep that in mind right there. Now, all this is not easy. You know, managing and especially growing ads typically takes a lot of time, as you can see, because there's a lot of data that should be analyzed for each ad that you have. There's, you know, lots of interest, and there's millions of choices and combos here. There's all sorts of different age groups, genders, business locations, regions, countries, the device, platform, placement, time of day of week, all that stuff right there. All this data is great to have, but it gives you millions and millions of possible options. Analyzing results and optimizing your ads based on data are the keys to making the most money with Facebook ads. This is the point at which most people fail because they can't get smart enough, fast enough to make their ads profitable. Now here's the key point. When you run ads, you are getting data. The more data you get, the smarter you become. The smarter you become, the better your results will get. If you're just running one ad, then you can probably find the time each day to babysit your ad, review and analyze the results, and then optimize your ad further. But to make the most money, you'll want to, have basically lots of ads targeted and optimized for all the best interest for your business. This is where most people run into problems and get much worse results than they could. So when you get overwhelmed by all the data, you lose money to higher ad costs. You're losing ads run too long. Your winning ads don't get scaled up to increase your profits. You miss out on reinvesting the profits to grow your business at a much faster rate, and you lose your mind. Doing all this manually is super tough, which is why I developed a system that makes it easier for me. And as much as I like basically talking about the manual ways of doing this, I'd like to briefly show you how basically I make this as super easy for myself as possible and how you can do the same as well. So introducing automated ads. Automated ads is artificial intelligence software that manages and optimizes your ads on autopilot to get the best possible results, even if you have no idea what you're doing and are not even paying attention. So here's a great testimonial right here. Eric Santos says, the automated ads campaigns are beating my old ads, but I don't know why. Now that's a great thing right there. In all truthfulness, you don't care why. I don't care why. It just is, okay? Because again, there's tons and tons and tons of data. It's hard for a normal person to basically analyze all that. And again, I think he was a little worried that he didn't quite know why it was winning. But again, it's analyzing tons of data and making decisions based upon that. Or here's one. Here's a new testimonial that we got. Actually, a marketer sent this in from a client of his that wrote him saying, hey, this is really awesome, because he basically talked about our software, and apparently it was essentially a person's daughter ran the software for a larger business and wrote in this, hey, just wanted to let you know that the automated ads product is the shit. Because I hate reading directions, I haven't even done that yet. I just used the split testing on one of my current campaigns because that's the first button I saw, so I clicked. Woke up this morning and have a 50% click-to conversions on my ads, and my best split test is getting 0.93% conversions on a market that I've been totally ignoring. I'll give you a better testimonial later, but just want to tell you how much this thing kicks ass. So literally, without even reading the instructions, they went in, the first thing that they clicked helped them do really great right off the bat right there. Now, having said that, I find this kind of funny because usually I tend to find that it's the guys that tend not to read the instructions. So it's kind of nice to see that it's not just us guys that don't read instructions. In this case, it's the gal that did the exact same thing right here. And furthermore, we actually took this advice to actually change some of the user interface around, because we're like, hey, they literally just clicked the first thing that they saw. So let's try to make it like a little bit easier than just that. So that was kind of a little funny bit right there. So again, even if you don't really know what you're doing, it can get some good results for you right there. So what does automated ads do? Well, it lets you automatically optimize your ads using the advanced artificial intelligence. You can then also continue to then automatically adjust your campaigns and ad sets using our proprietary algorithms to grow the winners and stop the losers without the risk of killing winning ad sets that normally occurs when people try to grow winning ad sets on their own, which is, again, a very common mistake here. Now, I know there's a lot of people that throw around the word artificial intelligence and stuff. The head programmer we have that has worked for us for a long time, he's not just some random coder. He actually specializes in computer theory. So he's like a very advanced guy that reads like the latest like research stuff on programming and coding and all that. And last year, he actually got invited and went down to the White House for some of the accomplishments and work and stuff that he's done kind of in those fields and stuff. He's a very, very interesting guy. In fact, he actually, at one point, he actually built a large 3D printer as a hobby on the side, just so he could like build, I guess, like larger like vase-sized pieces, which normally costs like way more to actually buy a machine like that. So he actually bought a used DNA splicer and customized it and coded everything to do what he needed it to do. And that was done as a hobby, guys. That's kind of scary. But yeah, like truly smart guy, and it kind of shows with this right here. So the software also lets you instantly analyze your Facebook ads to see the bigger picture of what's working and what's not in a much better report than what Facebook gives you. It also allows you to track and monitor all in one easy place. So you can use the automated ads to get a complete analysis and crystal clear report on any ad campaign or ad set you want. And it's basically a really awesome way to look like a genius when you're running ads for someone else too. So if you're running ads for a client of yours, or you want to get into that business and use the software to run their ads for you, basically, you can look like a genius with this right here. So here's just an example of a screenshot right here, where we see right here, this is basically a rough overview of one of the campaigns that we have inside right here. So see, it says the cost per lead about 51 cents. We see we have, this is actually a really neat thing right here. So if you're paying attention here, you'll see that the cost per click is in a lot of cases the same as the cost per lead, because we have a huge, astronomically high conversion rate because of the targeting right here and because of the methods that we use that we taught right here. And right here also gives like an overview on like the total clicks and links and leads. Like right here you see 116,000 clicks, or 116,000 clicks and over 112,000 leads. So again, really high conversion rate right there. 528 buyers right there. Just again, I think that was in a period of I think like a month or so. And it just gives some other breakdowns on views and likes and all that stuff right there. But here's where it gets more interesting. So it gives like a breakdown of what our cost per leads are. Like here we can see that it would range from basically a quarter to $2.69, with an average being about 52 cents. But it gives us a lot more details, like, hey, our cheapest leads during this time were men age 45 to 54. And it says the cheapest regions in the time span were as follows: New Jersey, California, so on and so forth. So it's basically telling us what the cheapest places for us to advertise are. And before anyone asks, yes, this works worldwide. So it doesn't have to be in the US. It works anywhere. So we see right here, what places are giving us cheaper leads or sales or whatever we want to optimize for. Now, you can stop and think and say, well, gee, why is New Jersey better? Why is California better? Why is not, this other place? Personally, there might be reasons why. I don't care, because the data is what the data is. If the data says this place gets me a lot more leads or a lot, more sales, or basically cheaper leads or cheaper sales, I'm going to follow the data and try to get better results there. And also gives like a breakdown of the cheapest times. Like right here we see on Sundays it looks like some morning and afternoon times are best. On Monday and Tuesdays it looks like only a brief amount of time in the evening's best, whereas Wednesday seems to be again a mix throughout the whole day, and then this case Friday and Saturday seems to be 8 to 9 and 8 to 10 at night seem to be the best time to get leads. Whereas on the flip side, it'll give us a report on sales, or basically purchases and stuff, and it gives like a breakdown of what our cost is right there with our averages, and it says, hey, the cheapest sales during that time was again men age 45 to 54. These are the cheapest regions for those sales right there, and the cheapest time. So right here, you notice, hey, right off the bat, this is really interesting. Looks like we get some cheap leads during the day, but it's at nighttime in the wee hours of the morning that we're oftentimes getting a lot of sales. So that's pretty good info, right? So if we were, in our case, we were basically optimizing for leads, we would, we would say, okay, well, that's okay if we get cheap leads, more so in the day. But if we're optimizing for sales, we might say, hey, well, look, like a lot of the early morning hours seems to get basically better and cheaper sales than the daytime for a lot of cases. So it's worthwhile info to know right there. Now, here's another overview. So at the start, before the artificial intelligence, or before the automated ads optimized more, there was a cost per lead of well over $1. Like you see, a cost per lead of $1.09, $1.27, up to $1.69. Whereas after the AI had time to kick in, we see ad sets where the lead cost is significantly less. In a lot of cases, a fourth of the cost that it was before. We see it range from basically 28 cents a lead to 42 cents a lead right there. So huge savings right there. Well, the average savings across the board, across all the ad sets, was a savings of about 50%. So this is a cost per lead around like 52 cents or so right there, as you can see right there. And in some more exceptional cases, there were insane reductions that we had to triple check because we couldn't believe it at first. Because here's some that we had 6 cents a lead and 14 cents a lead, which is insane, absolutely insane right there. And in fact, what was really neat right here too is that we actually found that in some of the insane examples right here, it would have huge savings, and we also using the software, we catch on like certain trends and stuff, and there's one trend that we caught onto that, especially if you have a smaller budget, allows you to get really, really cheap leads. I won't explain exactly what it is, but I will say that the software can automatically help you optimize for that based upon your budget and take kind of like the best of the best in all cases right there. So pretty cool stuff right there. And again, although we specifically focused on building a list in this case, you can also optimize by sales instead, and you can still see here that some of the sales that we optimized for were quite good right here. So here's sales that we got cost per sale of about less than $5. Here's one at basically 23 and 30 bucks or so. If we get it to be like less than like 50 or 60, we're sitting pretty good. So those are all quite good right there. So again, most of our stuff we tend to optimize by lead just because we get a lot of data and we can make a lot of money off those leads. We can certainly optimize by sales and stuff, as you can see here. Now, you can use the software to automatically optimize any ad campaign you want, and it's super, super easy. So here it is. Just a few simple steps. So step one, set your maximum budget. So in this case, I said I want it to be a maximum of $20 a day. Then step two, you want to say if you want to optimize for leads or for sales. And step three, you click optimize. So pretty easy. And then the software will optimize by age, gender, location, or day part. You can also use this software to automatically manage ad budgets and scale ads. And again, super easy. We'll say, hey, what is the maximum daily budget you'd like to use? In this case, I said, hey, $50 a day. Then it says, what is the max cost per lead or cost per sale that you want, whichever you're optimizing for. So I say, hey, if I get leads for 65 cents or less, I'm pretty happy with that. So even though I have an average of 52 cents or so, if it's under 65 cents, I'm pretty good with that. And step three, of course, you pick if you want leads or sales. And then step four, you click auto adjust, and it can automatically manage your campaigns and grow them for you. That's the cool part right there. It can automatically do that. You don't even have to worry about that. Now, you can check on it as much as you want. You can log in either through our software or through Facebook itself. So you can still override it. You can pause anything you want. You still have complete control, but if you don't want it, it can automatically manage and run it for you And again, it will never go over your max budget. Now, having said that, if you set a maximum budget of, let's say, $50 a day, and it says, hey, we're turning 50 bucks into 100, but we won't grow anymore because you specifically said don't go over this, it might say, hey, we recommend that you raise your budget and let us grow even more. But if you want to set that budget, it will stop right there. Or if you have a brand new ad, so let's say you've never run an ad set before, you can basically use the software to quickly split test it and have automated ads find the winners and further optimize and grow them. So this is a cool option right here where it can segment the stuff off and create several clones with different kinds of targeting and stuff like that to quickly kind of do all that stuff for you right there. So you can use the automated ads to automatically manage your ads to monitor them for hitting your target numbers. If your costs get too high, the software will pause the ad so you never have to worry about missing something that costs you a fortune. You can also use software to automatically scale your ad campaigns. You can choose your target cost per lead or cost per sale. Set your budget and automated ads will do the rest. You also get complete A to Z training. You'll get complete step-by-step training on all aspects of using the software to run your Facebook ads. Whether you're brand new to Facebook advertising or a seasoned veteran. Even if you've never done an ad before, we have a guide that walks you through how to do all that. So it's perfectly fine. Walks you step by step. Even if you're brand new and have never done any of that, it'll be perfectly fine. If you're super experienced, you'll have an easy time as well right there. Now you might ask, how fast can I get going? Well, you can sign up and get instant access today, and you can learn everything you need to know about using the automated ads software in 30 minutes. Now, we've had guys that jump right in, press the first few things that they see, and can get basically going right off the bat. But I suggest you watch at least like the walkthrough and stuff first. You don't necessarily have to, but I would suggest it because it kind of helps make it all make a lot more sense then. You can easily be up and running by tomorrow. Easy peasy. We also have top-notch support as well. Whenever you need help, our world-class support team is here and ready to help you. Now, I know a lot of people say they have support. We really have top-notch guys. We have some that have been with us for over a decade, and they don't just get back to you fast. They actually answer your questions. So I'm sure you've probably have seen support from some other places that either they don't write back or they do write back and they don't really answer your question or they don't answer it well. I hate that. So we made absolutely sure that our guys aren't like that. And they're really top-notch guys that always get back to you in one business day or less, usually in like a fraction of that time. As long as you don't, if you write it like 3 in the morning, they probably won't write until they wake up. But if you write them in the daytime, they'll be super, super quick and get back to you almost immediately there. So who should use automated ads? Well, people who are now running Facebook ads who want to optimize their ads, lower their costs, increase their profits, and improve their results on autopilot, or people who want to start running ads and not have to waste time figuring out how to analyze and optimize ads, or people who want to manage Facebook ads for other businesses, because there's a lot of money in that, even if you're brand new. We have training that will literally walk you through. If you want to do that, we have training that will walk you through how, so you can get going on that even if you're brand new on that. So you're among the first big group here that we've ever offered the automated ads software to, so you'll get the first mover advantage and a special access account as a charter member. Now, we plan to sell automated ads for $297 a month plus 10% of ad spend because of all the profits that can be made from Facebook ad optimization and scaling on autopilot. We actually know a guy who now, as I've said, we've paid in the past $7,000 a month to have a manager that did a horrible job. I actually know a guy right now that says he pays about $10,000 a month plus 10% of ad spend on top of that. To get guys that are doing like an okay job, but here this will be our normal price right here, which again is a fraction of that, and only a small cut of the ad spend. But for you guys, we're going to do something super special here. Today only, you can get a huge introductory discount, save thousands, and get access to benefits that won't be available to people who join later. You can get the automated ads charter member deal right here for only $1,277 a year, and that's with 0% of your ad spend. So that we never take an extra cent. It's just $1,277 per year, flat fee. You can use it on multiple accounts of yours or those of your clients. And again, for the discount deal right here, we do not take any percentage of your ad spend either. So that's a special deal. Not only you get a huge savings, nearly about 2/3 off right here, we also don't take a penny of your ad spend either. So you get 2/3 off right off the bat. Plus, instead of taking the 10% of your ad spend, you don't have to deal with any of that right there. So huge savings right there. But you have to go to automatedads.com/discount, and it's again valid right here, right now. But we'll throw in some amazing bonuses as well. Free bonus number 1. You'll get a free upgrade into the Automated Ads Pro account. That means you can use automated ads to manage 100 Facebook ad accounts with unlimited ad campaigns, ad sets, and ads. These accounts can be yours, or you can use automated ads to manage Facebook ads for other businesses, which can, again, be worth a fortune to you. Because, again, there's businesses out there that charge a fortune. Now, we've used guys that have charged, again, upwards of $7,000 a month. We know guys that have charged $10,000 a month plus 10% of ad spend. But the typical, I'd say probably like the average rates, or like the typical rates for smaller ad campaigns usually is at least $500 a month just for 2 ad campaigns, or $1,000 a month for 4 ad campaigns. So even like a mom and pop type shop would have to pay around that. And using the software here, you can manage these on autopilot at no additional cost as part of your membership. So one sale here can make a good profit for you even in the first month, and be pure profit after that point right here. So with managing Facebook ad accounts, Facebook has 5 million businesses now running ads, and they all want better results. Okay, they all do. Lower cost ads with more leads and more sales is what they want and what you can help them with. With over 100 million businesses worldwide, about 95 million businesses are not yet advertising on Facebook, but they should be. So that means 95% of the market hasn't even been touched yet on this. And of the ones that are advertising on Facebook, almost all of them need help. Free bonus number 2, free future updates. And there's some huge ones here. In fact, one should actually be out this week, and another one will be out later this month, which will be a huge one. We're actually in the middle of rolling out some huge updates in the next couple of months. As I said, one should be done this week, another one should be done probably by the end of this month or soon after. And these will be worth a fortune, but you get them for free. Now here's the big one. When we get this, we're going to charge a lot more, even as an introductory deal, because this will be awesome. You'll have the ability to automatically create new ads from scratch. That includes graphics, copy, everything. You can still tweak them if you want, but it will save hours of work. So, and that's a $3,000 value right there. Furthermore, you'll also have the ability to integrate with top e-commerce stores and custom t-shirt, mugs, jewelry stores, and so on. So you can have it automatically turn your Shopify store or other e-com store into lots of ads advertising each of your products as a $2,000 value. So that means you can basically enter your store or your e-commerce store, and it will automatically make an ad for every single product that you have, and furthermore, it can automatically optimize that too. So it can grab the images, it can create some nice text and ads and do all that for you from scratch. And of course, you can edit anything you want to. Very powerful stuff, very cool stuff right there too, and a very smart way that we're setting that all up. Even if you have another site that's not an e-commerce store, I can still help you make ads and stuff there too. So very powerful feature there. And again, further updates and tweaks and additions to this software itself, you'll also get for free as it gets better and better. That's a $5,000 value right there. And you'll also get the ability to recommend new features or tweaks that you'd like to see, and most likely will make it happen as long as it makes sense and works for others too. And again, that's a priceless feature right there. So as a charter member, you can recommend features and stuff that you want to see, and we'll try to make that happen for you. Because again, our goal is to make this better and better, better and better and better. That's partly why we have the super awesome deal right here, and why we're not taking a cut of your ad spend too on top of that, in exchange for getting lots of feedback, lots of users. Like you already saw some getting great results. We want to have more of those. We want to hear from you and make this better and better and better. Bonus number 3. The discounted membership rate is locked in for life. Now, because you're in the first group of people that gets early access to the software, you'll help us grow the brand, so we'll lock in your low discounted rate for life as a charter member. No matter how many awesome upgrades and features we add, no matter how much we charge other people in the future, you'll be guaranteed to keep your low rate as long as you choose to remain a user of automated ads. But of course, you're free to leave at any time you want as well. Free bonus number 4, you get private automated ads training. So you'll get, with just our first training bit right here, so on part 1, you'll get the exact steps to promote your high-ticket affiliate products to earn commissions of up to $1,200 per sale. So in the first training on the free bonus, you learn how to make a lot of money, even as an affiliate, through this right here. Training number 2 on this bonus: how to set up Facebook ad management deals with businesses to get paid monthly, starting at $500 a month, and in a lot of cases a lot more. We'll show you not only how to do that, but how to find those deals, how to word those deals, what to say, all that stuff, super easy for you to do. And as free bonus number 5, and guys, that's on top of all of our normal training as well. We have training in there that walks through everything, gives you tips, all that right there. But for free bonus number 5, we'll give you a giveaway template as well. So instead of selling a giveaway templates as a product, we'll actually be releasing it to customers of automated ads for free in about a week or so. So you can use it to get dirt cheap leads to any offer you want. So you saw one of the methods that we basically talked about was being able to use basically giveaway. We'll give you a template that you can use, and you can basically edit anything you want on that. So you'll have the exact same stuff that we use, that we can get awesome results and dirt cheap leads from. So you'll get access to that template shortly. This was one where we were originally going to sell like a course on this and include the templates and stuff. We're actually going to be giving you the templates and stuff for free right there when we release that in a couple days' time. And as a last minute bonus as well, this is a huge bonus right here, which you'll get later this week as well. For the super unannounced bonus, you can get a $497 per year survey maker tool for free. So you saw one of the methods that we talked about at the start was the ability to make surveys and give custom responses based upon the answers that they give. Well, we have some special survey maker software that we made for ourselves actually, and we've been using this for a long time, and we thought, hey, let's make a version that we can release to basically the public, that we can sell there. And we thought, hey, there's a few things we had to basically tweak up because it was made for us and we've used it for a long time, but we had to do a few things to like add some instructions in there, make a few things a little bit easier, because again, we made it for us, not for you guys at first, but they're in the middle of fixing up all that, and later this week we'll actually give that away for free, and this will literally be sold, guys. This is a tool right here. That's a $497 a year tool that you can create and make surveys that will host for free, and you can get custom responses. So even if you're an affiliate, you can promote affiliate products through a survey, and we'll have training and stuff on how to do all that and how to take advantage of that even more. So again, you can get our special survey maker software that lets you make custom surveys with custom responses for your own stuff. And again, that includes hosting for as long as you're an active automated ads member. So as long as you're an active member, you'll get access to that for free right there. Huge, huge bonus, guys, worth a lot right there. And that's a legitimate huge bonus right there that you normally would have to pay for. And I'm throwing this in as an unannounced bonus right here. And this is something that I basically decided to do literally right prior to this call. Plus, even better, you get 100% money back guarantee. You can use the automated ads software for the next 30 days. If you're not happy for any reason at all, simply notify us for a 100% refund for any reason at all. No fine print, nothing like that. Any reason at all, you can get 100% of your investment back. Plus, you can keep all of the private training materials as my gift to you for just trying out automated ads. So again, to get the special automated ads charter member deal for only $1,277 a year, you have to go to this link right here, automatedads.com/discount. Again, that's automatedads.com/discount, and that's all backed by 100% money back guarantee. And again, valid for today only right here. So you have to go to, again, automatedads.com/discount to, again, partake in this special deal right here. And this really is an amazing deal, guys. We put our money where our mouth is. We have lots of training. Even if you're brand new, you can get started on Facebook without having to go through all the troubles that everyone else is. If you're experienced on Facebook, we can save you a ton of time and get you even better results than what you have now. And again, you can put your management on autopilot, which saves you a fortune. There's nothing else out there like this. We're the only ones that use basically artificial intelligence to not only analyze and optimize your ad sets, but also manage them at the same time using all the data and stuff that's there. So again, you have to go to automatedads.com/discount. So with that, guys, if you have any questions or anything like that, you can feel free to ask those now. And Shawn, I know you've been on the call answering lots and lots of questions in the chat. If there's any questions that you've seen pop up, feel free to answer those. But really quick, I'll just say I know there's always guys that ask, does this work internationally? The answer is yes. Does it work on a Mac? Yes, it's web-based software, works on Mac as well as Windows or PC, so that's all fine. So with that, Shawn, what other questions and stuff have you seen?
A lot of people asking if I'm new, how do I know how to do that? How do I know how to make an ad? How do I know how to set this up? How do I know where to place my pixel? We have complete training on all of that. So from A to Z, our training assumes that you have a Facebook account, because you have to have a Facebook account. But other than the fact you signed up for the free account, it doesn't assume anything else. At that point, we just start from the very beginning. This is Facebook, this is an ad on Facebook, this is how to set up an ad, and it's a really simple, straightforward process to do. And if you're brand new, then you don't have to worry about it, because you're going to learn how to do that. And then, unlike what happens with most people who've run ads, then they run into the problem of they try to do an ad and it doesn't work, and so they quit. And let me ask you guys this question. How many of you actually need more traffic? How many people here actually need traffic? I see people typing in yes. Of course you do, right? I mean, this is not a trick question, okay? You absolutely need traffic, because unless you have traffic, nothing will ever happen. Greatest offer in the world, biggest discount, you're selling $1 million bills for only $500,000. No one's going to buy them if you don't have any traffic. And there's only two ways to get traffic. Do something that gets you traffic, take action, work and get free traffic, which takes time. You can't scale, you can't force the issue, or go out and buy traffic for less than it's worth to you. If you could spend 50 cents and get $1 back, how many of you would do that? Yes or no? Of course, yes, that's right. Chris, you're the fast typist. You're always there immediately. And of course you're going to say yes, because that just makes sense. That's the whole concept with buying traffic. You don't have to buy huge amounts to start. If you've got small budgets, you start with small numbers. You could start ads for as little as $1 a day. The more you can run, the faster you get results, the faster you can grow, but you can start with whatever your budget is. Now, the other thing that I see from a lot of people who look to run ads is they're worried that things are going to get really out of control. Like when you're not paying attention, Facebook is going to go absolutely wild and spend millions of dollars, and you're going to get this massive bill. Well, first of all, Facebook will never do that. because you get to set your daily budget for every single ad. So if you set a budget that says, I only want to spend $5 a day, that's all that will get spent. But even if you're not paying attention, automated ads will pay attention, as Brian showed you when you set it up, where you set yourself up and you bid, and you set up the perimeters inside of automated ads where you say, I want to spend 50 cents for leads. And if your ad campaign is not getting leads for 50 cents or less, automated ads will turn that off. So it won't, if you went on vacation for like 3 months and never looked inside automated ads, here's what would happen. Ads that aren't hitting your numbers would just be turned off. They'll be paused until you come back and review them and decide what you want to do with them. Ads that are doing great would be managed to grow and scale your ads and increase your ad spend, because if you're getting leads for 50 cents and they're worth $1 to you, you'd obviously want more of them. And if you started your budget at $10 a day, but you said, hey, I'd spend $100 a day as long as I'm getting leads for 50 cents, then automated ads would work to scale your ads, and it's going to automatically do this. Somebody asked me, like, how does this, compare to what I can do? I mean, you might be able to manage one ad campaign if you spend a couple hours a day in there doing what automated ads does, but you can't do it if you're doing 10, 20, 50, 100 different things. And you get tired, your eyes blur over, and you can't learn as fast as the machine can do it.
And a major point on that is, any person that wants to do really well, you have to have many, many, many ad sets. You can't just have like one. So if you're wanting to do well and grow, you have to have a lot of ad sets, and it's very hard to manage a lot of ad sets, especially when things can change too. Stuff goes up and down, and you have to monitor a lot of stuff, and data can change too. There might be one month where a certain age group is better or worse. Another month it might be the exact opposite, and it might vary based upon regions. There's like a whole bunch of factors that can change that we look at. And with that, while Shawn was basically talking, I saw that there were a couple guys that asked if we could do a payment plan. So I wasn't planning on basically doing that initially, but I quickly set up in the background, talked to our tech guy really quick, and we set up a special link for you right there. So there's still a discount if you can go for the whole year right here. But we have a 3-pay that I set up right here that if you go to automatedads.com/discount/3, you can get in for, again, it will have both options right there for you. So that was hacked together real quick right there. So again, only $1,277 per year, or 3 monthly payments of $497. And again, that's all per year right there. So if you want a payment plan right there, that's that for you right there. And again, all those are backed by 100% money back guarantee for 30 days. This deal is valid right now, and this really is like, even if you're brand new, okay, if you've never done Facebook ads or anything like that, we have a complete walkthrough on how to get going step by step. You could hand this off to a person that you'd say is not a techie at all, that knows next to nothing about any of this, and they would be fine, okay? And not only could they be fine setting up the ads and all that, they would also have a super easy time using the software to help automate, basically all that stuff right there. And on top of that, you guys, again, if you jump in at this deal, not only do you get the discounted price, not only do you also get the deal where we never, ever, ever take any percentage of your ad spend. On top of that, we also give you the bonuses where, again, you can get the giveaway templates. You can learn to build a list and make a lot of sales off that. You can also get the the survey maker. We can make surveys and do very, very well off that. Even if you have that outside of ads, you can have that mailed to your list, or have that on a site or anywhere you want, and have that work well on both these cases. And if you've never done an ad in your life, again, we have complete walkthroughs on how to do all that stuff very easily. So whether you want to build a list, sell stuff as an affiliate, or do whatever you want, we have all those options in there for you, and complete training to help you, and support to help you as well. But you have to go to automatedads.com/discount/3 in this case to get the special deal right there. So with that, guys, make sure to jump on that right now. I'll see if there's any other questions that you have. In fact, Shawn, if you've seen any more that popped up, feel free to shout out those, and we'll wrap this up soon.
Hey guys, let me just jump in and say this is an amazing offer, and I'm just not just saying that. I just know the quality of the software you guys produce, and I actually had a review copy. I'm testing it out now. This thing is amazing. I've just like these guys. I've spent thousands of dollars getting people to manage my Facebook ads just to see if they can get better results than I could on my own, and most of the time they couldn't. Right, probably all the time they couldn't because I wanted to outsource it though because it's a lot of labor involved in setting up the ad sets, setting up the images, testing different interests. All of the stuff involved with Facebook ads that these guys were showing you, and they gave you some really good tips. But if you have a software to automate all of that stuff for you, man, it's just such a great deal. You could save yourself a lot of time, money, and frustration just by getting this software. It's cutting edge stuff. These guys are top notch. Their support is top notch. I've known them for years, so I can't recommend this enough because you know that Facebook is where all the traffic is, and you know that you need to have a presence there. You need to be tapping into that vast network of over 2 billion active people to find your customers. So go ahead and grab it. There's a money back guarantee. Test it out. See, if you can get it to work. Look at their training videos. And give this thing a go, even if you're only spending, a couple dollars a day, $5 a day, or whatever, just testing out these ads. You can build a nice following over time with this software.
All right, guys. So again, once more, you have to go to that link that you see up there right now to take advantage of the special deal right here. And again, this really is an amazing deal, and we also have complete training walking you through how to do all that stuff right there. So even if you're brand new, won't be a problem at all. I don't care if you sell info products. I don't care if you're just an affiliate. I don't care if you sell high-end products or services. I don't care if you want to do this as a service and do Facebook management for other people. Because even if you're brand new, again, you can seem like an absolute pro when you give a report and say, hey, did you know, this is what is basically losing you money. This is what's making you money. This is your cost per lead right here. These are your best, days and times and all that stuff right there. You'll seem like an absolute pro. And again, they don't have to know that you don't have to be the one doing a ton of work, to get the results that they want to see. And again, we have training to help you again, regardless if you're an affiliate, regardless if you have your own product, regardless if you want to sell us as a service. We have training and tips for all that. We have the bonuses as well, the software, the templates, all that stuff right there, which you get as well, and training on how to help with all those as well, even with and without the software as well right there. So again, once more, guys, make sure you go to that link that you see right there. Again, automatedads.com/discount. If you want the special the 3-pay option, it would just be just add a /3 to that right there, and you'll get the special link to there. But again, you have to take advantage of this right here, right now. And with that, Shawn, do you see any other last-minute questions or anything? And if not, we can wrap this up.
Okay, I'm going to probably butcher this name, and I apologize, but well, because in Gia, I probably said this completely wrong. It's I believe an Asian name, which I usually butcher, and I apologize. My Asian friends in my neighborhood would not be pleased that I can't do that. It's Nia or Naya. We've now eliminated some of the letters. I told you I was going to butcher this. Nia. Okay, good. So Nia, now that I got that right. Okay, that's a great question. The software can automatically scale your budget for you, yes. So if you'll say you start an ad at $10 a day and you say, "Man, this is going great. I'd like automated ads to manage the ad and grow the budget because I'm liking this and I'm happy with my 50-cent leads or my $10 buyers." I know that Nia, from chatting back and forth in here, is doing e-com, and let's say our target cost per buyer is $10, and we ran an ad for $10 a day and it's working. We're getting buyers for $7 or $8, and so we obviously want to grow the budget because this is a profitable ad campaign. And you set up automated ads to manage the budget. You put in, I'm willing to grow to $50 a day, because you don't want to get all carried away. So you say, I'm willing to go to $50 a day, and you tell automated ads to manage it. So the next day, it's going to grow the budget from the initial $10 up to a bigger number, let's say $20 or whatever it figures is the right thing in the automated ad artificial intelligence engine. And it'll measure the results the next day. And as long as it's measuring every day and that target cost is hitting $10 or less, it'll keep growing that budget up to $50. But let's say it gets to $32 as a budget, and for whatever reason, and sometimes it's just you grow your ad budget and the ad costs get out of whack, and the cost per sale goes to $11.38. Automated ad's going to recognize, wow, it went to $11.38 and tomorrow it's at $12. So let's back down the ad spend from 32, let's go to 25 or 20, and try to find the biggest number we can get, but still hit our target cost of $10 per ad. So if everybody followed that, it's automatically managing this up and down to optimize your ads, because as long as you get a $10 buy, you're happy. So that's what it's going to optimize for. If for whatever reason Facebook goes crazy and or there's a lot of competition that jumps into this particular ad segment and your ad no longer works at all and isn't getting buyers for $10 or less, after a couple of days, automated ads will just pause the ad so you can review and see if you want to adjust your parameters or you just want to leave it off because that particular ad isn't working for you any longer. It will never run wild, it'll never go crazy, never go bad for you, and never let things run that shouldn't run. But it will, when things are good, optimize your ads to grow them and make you more money. Now, hopefully that makes sense to everybody, because it's automated. Somebody was earlier saying, can you demonstrate how automated ads work? Well, can't really demonstrate the internal part of the artificial engine because it's the internal part of the artificial engine. That's why, as Brian was explaining, you don't have to figure out anything complicated with all of this. It's really as simple as you have your ad set up and you decide what you want automated ads to do. Manage your ad, scale your ad, optimize, split test your ad, whatever you'd like it to do, it will do on autopilot, track, give you the results, manage it all for you, and just let you go wild.
Yeah,
so
and
it's really just how you guys want to let it run. Go ahead, Brian.
And here's a great thing right here. So there's a person that asked if they need a large budget to start with if they're brand new, and the answer to that is no, you absolutely don't. Now, of course, the more data you get, like the more leads or sales, the faster it can make conclusions. But if you can start at $5 a day, and let's say you want to optimize for leads, it can get a decent amount of data fairly quick, and once it has enough, it can start to adjust and grow your ad sets and stuff for you, so you don't have to start with a lot. But obviously, if you find that you turn $5 into a 10, you'd want to grow that, right? So you'd want to increase your budget and try to turn 10 into 20, or 10 into 30, or 50, or whatever that might be right there. And that's what the software does and helps you with right there. So you don't have to start with a huge budget. Even, again, $5 a day is fine to start with. Of course, if you can start with more, that's great too, but you don't need to. So don't think like you have to spend like $1,000 a day or anything crazy high like that. Oftentimes, again, the $5 a day for any ads that you have is fine to start with right there. So with that, guys, looks like again we're about to wrap this up soon. So let me ask you guys a question. So we're about to wrap this up, and then again take the special deal down. So if you are on basically a checkout page or are about to purchase, just type in a 1. So if you're on that page or about to, or you have, just type in a 1. All right. Or if you're on the fence, if you could type in a 2. So I'll see there. Okay. All right. Good. All right. So with that, guys. Good. Lisa just said that she just literally purchased it, so that's great right there. And so with that, guys, again, we'll keep this up for just a bit more. But if you're trying to get in right now, if you have any issues, like if your card's declined or anything like that, just call again the number on the back of it. Call the bank and say it was you, and they'll usually approve of it right then, because I saw there's at least one that had an issue. and they'll usually approve it, and you can rebuy it right then, or you can just write our support, and they'll be happy to assist you as well. And if you try to get in and had like an issue, they'll be happy to hold that spot for you at the special deal, with the discounts and all that. But you have to try that again right now. All right, so Jackie asked a question here. If I never advertise on Facebook and know nothing, will I be able to understand? Yes, we actually have, specifically for people like you, we actually have a guide to start with that kind of walks you through everything you need to know to start out. So from the get-go, you'll be fine right there. You can follow simple step-by-step instructions. You'll be perfectly fine. And this is basically made so like even a person that knows nothing, or even like a kid, would be fine as long as they can follow instructions and follow the pictures and stuff. You'll be perfectly fine right there. And then the software itself, once that basically kicks in, that's very easy, where you don't have to really know much other than like, hey, what is the maximum amount per day you want to spend? How much do you want to spend per sale or per lead? So pretty simple stuff. But again, we have training to help with all that. And even if you don't have like products or anything like that, we have training on how you can sell this as a service, how you can sell stuff as an affiliate, how you can sell it for your own stuff. And keep in mind, when you sell it as a service, the numbers we said of like $500 to $1,000 a month, that's really on the smaller side. Some of the higher end clients typically pay anywhere from like $5,000 to $10,000 a month for the high end ones. And I can tell you right now, of the people that I know spending a lot on Facebook, the guys that they're paying $5 to $10K a month to, on top of a portion of their ad spend in some cases, the people that are managing it aren't doing nearly as good of a job as something like this could do right here. So you guys could be a steal of a deal, where again, a single client can make you a decent profit right there, and we have training on how to do that as well. All right, just going through the rest of the questions.
I was saying also with this, it was funny that you mentioned giveaways, because we're actually in the process of doing a giveaway. It's really one of the best ways to build leads. So what we normally do is, we know we have an event coming up in January called the Bestsellers Summit. We do it every year. It's an annual online conference and online seminar. So we like to do what's called we call it a Writers Appreciation Week. So we spend a whole week, we actually drag it on for a couple of weeks, with these giveaways to recruit writers into our funnel, to recruit writers. And then we know we're going to build a list ahead of time. And then when we do the Bestsellers Summit, we'll have a list of writers that we built from these giveaways that would be interested in purchasing that. So we do that every year, and it works extremely effectively. So it's something to think about as well with this package.
Yeah, and again, we give instructions and walkthroughs on how all that stuff works right there. And again, we're here for you if ever there's any issues or anything like that. Again, we are here to help you with all that right there. And with that too, in case there's ever, if there's any issues or anything that pops up as well, I'll write our support in the chat, which is also on the page, but just in case. It's automatedAdsHelp@gmail.com, and I'll just send that out right there. So if you have like a card decline or anything like that, you can just reach out to them there, and they'll make sure to hold your spot right there. So again, just a little time left to make sure to grab your special pricing right here, because again, guys, I'm excited. The reason why, again, we have a special deal right here, because again, normally for even management software itself that does not do even like, a fraction of what we do, places charge, again, hundreds of dollars a month on top of a percentage of ad spend. So really, even for a small ad, you're looking at a minimum of like $4,000 or more a year. And that's if you have almost zero budget. If you have any kind of even smaller budget, you're talking thousands of dollars more. And larger ones, you could be talking thousands to tens of thousands of dollars more, if not way, 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 way more. So this is a really awesome deal right here. But on top of that, we have super smart analytics, super smart artificial intelligence, tons of training to help you guys do real well. And I'll even reveal stuff to you guys on how you can get really cheap leads and sales even on a smaller budget. In fact, one of the tricks that you'll learn is that there's a kind of ad that you can do that can get phenomenally cheap leads and sales. The only downside is it doesn't work if you're trying to scale super, super, super big. So if you're looking to spend like thousands of dollars a day, it won't work as well on that large of a scale. But if you're looking to spend like a smaller amount per day, it can work really well in optimizing for really cheap leads and cheap sales. Those were some of the examples you saw where it was like, I think like 7 and 14 cents per lead and like really cheap sales. That was through a trick that you'll learn what we basically do there. And we have the software automatically help and make those kinds of ads for you that they mix in with the rest of the ads as well. So we basically take advantage of the really cheap leads and sales at the same time while basically growing the rest of the leads and sales to be less than what your target price point is. So that's some really cool stuff that it can do right there as well. But once again, guys, make sure you go to that link that you see right there. And with that, Shawn, unless you see any other last-minute questions or anything, we can wrap this up. But again, guys, make sure you jump on that deal right now because again, when we jump off the call right there, again, the deal will be taken down shortly thereafter. So if you're on the fence or you're thinking about it, make sure you go to that link to take advantage of that. If you have any issues or any questions or anything that popped up, again, just write our support that you see in the chat, and they can make sure to hold your spot. Because obviously, if you're here now, I want to make sure that you have a chance to get in on this deal and get all the bonuses and all that right there. But again, in the very near future, the price will be changing. It will be substantially more, probably about three times the price plus a cut, which you guys won't have to deal with any of that. You won't have to deal with any cut of the ad spend or anything like that. You guys also get the bonuses where you can have, again, tons and tons and tons of ad accounts inside of your accounts. You can use it for your own ads. You can use it for those that you manage with others, all that stuff right there. So with that, Shawn, is there anything else you want to add real quick or any questions that you've seen pop up?
I think we got everything. Just want to welcome all the people that are our new charter members. Look forward to working with you guys and helping you to succeed. You're absolutely going to love this. Just what we have now is awesome, and what's still to come is some of Brian hit it at, but we've got some other stuff that we haven't even talked publicly about yet that we'll be adding in because we intend to grow this into a very, very big part of our business, this software, and we've already got other businesses that do hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. We've got the resources to make all this happen, and we're in the trenches along with you guys out there, running promotions and making things happen. So welcome to the charter membership, and looking forward to working with everybody. Brian, I'll let you wrap it up. Ron, thanks as always for your friendship and for this opportunity to talk with your people.
Yes, thank you guys for coming on. Great presentation.
All right, guys. With that, again, I want to thank all of you, and this is the last chance here to jump on that link right there. And again, if you have any questions or anything like that, any issues at all, feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help. We're here for you, and we want to make sure that you do well, because when you do well, it makes us look really good, and we can improve the software even more, and we can use you guys as the case studies and the testimonials and such when we go and charge a lot more and take a cut and all that right there. That's again the whole reason why we have this at a special deal price right here. And again, it is all risk-free, all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee for any reason at all. We never play games or anything like that. Very straightforward on that right there. So it's perfectly safe and risk-free. But again, with that, guys, make sure you go to automatedads.com/discount/3, which gives you the option of the yearly price at a discount or the 3-pay option as well. And with that, guys, I want to thank all of you for joining us on this call, especially those that have joined up, and make sure that if you're on that page right now or you're about to, make sure you fill in all that info right there. And if you have any issues, just write automatedAdsHelp@gmail.com, and they'll be sure to assist you right there. So with that, guys, I want to wish you a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.
Hold on, guys.